There will be people who cannot stand the light in you because they have spent too long making peace with their own darkness. They will criticize you. They will underestimate you. They will talk about you when you are not in the room. They will remind you of every mistake you ever made, hoping you will forget every strength you have ever built. And sometimes, the hardest part will not be what they do to you. The hardest part will be resisting the temptation to become bitter because of it. Listen to me. You do not have to destroy people who tried to destroy your confidence. You do not have to answer every insult. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not have to prove your worth to people who have already decided not to see it. Rise quietly. Rise with dignity. Rise with discipline. Rise with your wounds still healing and your heart still learning. Because the greatest victory is not watching the people who hurt you fall. The greatest victory is realizing they no longer have the power to make you fall. Life will teach you something that comfort never could. Not everybody who smiles at you is happy for you. Not everybody who walks beside you wants to see you move forward, and not everybody who knows your story deserves access to your future. There will be seasons when you feel surrounded by people who doubt you. They will tell you that your dream is too big. Your heart is too soft. Your ambition is unrealistic. Your past is too heavy. Your failures are too many. But sometimes people judge your future by the version of you they remember. They do not know what happened inside you when nobody was watching. They do not know the nights you cried and still got up the next morning. They do not know how many times you had to encourage yourself. They do not know how many battles you fought silently. They see the person you are becoming, but they never witnessed the pain that built that person. So stop asking people who have never carried your burden to understand your strength. Your struggle has purpose. Your rejection has purpose. Your lonely seasons have purpose. Even the people who tried to bring you down can become part of the lesson that teaches you how to stand. But understand this. You are not rising above them so you can look down on them. You are rising because you finally understand that your life is too precious to be controlled by somebody else's opinion. Some people do not want peace. They want a reaction. They want to see you angry. They want to see you frustrated. They want to watch you lose control because the moment you lose control, they feel powerful. They know exactly what to say. They know where you are sensitive. They know which memories still hurt. They know which words can make your blood rise. And if you are not careful, they will pull you into a version of yourself you worked so hard to leave behind. But listen to me. Do not give them that power. Your anger is precious. Your attention is precious. Your energy is precious. Stop spending all three on people who have done nothing to deserve them. You have spent too many years fighting battles that were never yours to fight. You have wasted too many nights replaying conversations in your mind, wondering what you should have said, wishing you had defended yourself differently. Enough. There is strength in silence, not the silence of fear, not the silence of weakness, the silence of self-control, the silence of a person who knows, I could respond, but I do not have to. That is maturity. That is discipline. That is power. You do not have to attend every argument you are invited to. Everybody does not deserve an explanation. Everybody does not deserve a response. Everybody does not deserve another opportunity to disturb your peace. Sometimes the strongest sentence you can say is nothing. Walk away, breathe, they think, then keep moving. Because when you allow somebody to control your emotions, you have handed them the steering wheel of your life. Take it back. Take your mind back. Take your peace back. Take your focus back. You have too much work to do. You have too much healing to complete. You have too much purpose waiting for you. You have too much life left to live. Do not let a temporary provocation steal a permanent piece of your character. Somebody may insult you today. Do not become insulting. Somebody may lie about you. Do not become a liar. Somebody may treat you without respect. Do not abandon your own character just because they abandoned theirs. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Let them create stories about you. Let them believe whatever they need to believe. You know who you are. And more importantly, God knows who you are. You do not need to defend your character every time somebody attacks it. Sometimes your life will defend you better than your words ever could. Keep walking. Keep building. Keep becoming. And when you feel the urge to react, remember what is really at stake. Your peace, your progress, your future, your character. Do not trade those things for 5 minutes of emotional satisfaction. You are bigger than the argument. You are bigger than the insult. You are bigger than the opinion. Let your discipline answer. Let your growth answer. Let your consistency answer. Let your character answer. And let time reveal what anger never could. Because when you stop reacting to every person who tries to provoke you, you discover something powerful. They never had the power you thought they had. You gave it to them, and now you are taking it back. There comes a moment when you must stop explaining what you are going to become and start becoming it. Stop telling everybody what you are planning. Stop trying to convince people that you are serious. Stop wasting your breath explaining your dreams to people who have already decided they are impossible. Let your actions speak. People can argue with your words. They can question your intentions. They can laugh at your dreams. They can doubt your ability. They can remind you of every mistake you ever made, but they cannot argue with consistent results. So work. Work when nobody applauds. Work when nobody believes in you. Work when the excitement is gone. Work when the road feels lonely. Work when your confidence is shaking. Work when you are tired. Work when you are afraid. Work when you do not feel like it, because discipline will carry you when motivation leaves you. Motivation is powerful. But motivation is temporary. There will be mornings when you wake up inspired, and there will be mornings when you wake up exhausted. There will be days when you believe in yourself, and there will be days when doubt sits heavily on your chest. That is when discipline matters. You cannot control what people say about you. You cannot control whether they support you. You cannot control whether they understand your vision. But you can control what you do today. You can wake up, you can learn, you can improve. You can save, you can build, you can pray. You can keep your promises to yourself. That is how you rise, not through revenge, through growth, not through noise, through consistency, not through proving people wrong, through becoming everything they said you could never become. There is something powerful about a person who stops announcing their plans. They stop explaining. They stop begging for approval. They stop looking around to see who is watching. They simply work, quietly, patiently, faithfully, day after day, month after month, year after year, and one morning they look back and realize, I survived what was supposed to break me. That realization changes you, because you begin to understand that every difficult morning was building something inside you. Every rejection taught you resilience. Every disappointment taught you patience. Every failure taught you humility. Every lonely season taught you how to stand without applause. That is your responsibility. Build yourself, build your mind, build your character, build your faith, build your discipline. Do not build your life around the opinions of people who are not carrying your burden. Their criticism may be loud today. Let your consistency become louder tomorrow. Their laughter may hurt today. Let your growth answer tomorrow. Their doubt may follow you today. Let your results outrun it tomorrow. And remember this, you do not need everybody to believe in you. You need to believe enough to keep going. You need faith when the evidence is not visible yet. You need courage when the path is uncertain. You need discipline when nobody is watching, because when your foundation is strong, somebody else's opinion becomes nothing more than wind against a mountain. The wind may blow, the storm may come, people may speak, people may doubt, but you remain standing. You keep building, you keep praying, you keep moving, and eventually, you will not have to tell anybody who you became. They will see it. This may be the hardest lesson of all. Someone hurt you. Someone betrayed you. Someone used your kindness. Someone made you feel small. Someone took the love you offered and treated it like it had no value. And now you have a choice. You can become cruel, or you can become wiser. You can let their behavior poison your heart. Or you can decide that their darkness will not become your identity, because pain has a strange way of changing people. Sometimes pain makes you stronger, but sometimes, if you are not careful, pain makes you bitter, and bitterness can become another prison. You spend so much time remembering what they did that you slowly become someone you never wanted to be. Do not let that happen. Do not let somebody else's inability to love teach you how to hate. Do not let somebody else's dishonesty make you dishonest. Do not let somebody else's cruelty convince you that kindness is weakness. No, be kind, but be wise. Have compassion, but have boundaries. Loathe people, but do not abandon yourself trying to save them. You can have a good heart and still say no. You can forgive and still walk away. You can care about somebody and still protect your peace. You can wish somebody well and still refuse to give them access to your life. That is not hatred. That is wisdom. Forgiveness does not mean pretending the wound never happened. Forgiveness does not mean you have to trust the same person again. Forgiveness means you refuse to carry their wrongdoing everywhere you go. Releases the anger, releases the need for revenge. Release the endless questions. You may never receive the apology you deserved. You may never hear them admit what they did. You may never get the explanation you wanted, but your healing cannot depend on somebody else's willingness to take responsibility. Sometimes you have to close the chapter without receiving the final sentence. Sometimes you have to walk away without an apology. Sometimes you have to say, I may never understand why you did it, but I refuse to let it destroy me. That is healing. Healing does not mean pretending nothing happened. Healing means what happened no longer controls who you become. Your scars are not evidence that you are weak. They are evidence that you survived. Look at what you have been through. Look at the nights you thought you would never get past. Look at the disappointments that once felt impossible to survive. And yet, you are still here, still breathing, still learning, still becoming, still capable of loving, still capable of dreaming, still capable of believing. Do not underestimate that. And perhaps the greatest thing you can do with your pain is transform it into wisdom. Let your suffering teach you. Let your disappointment sharpen you. Let your loneliness introduce you to yourself. Let your failures humble you. Let your faith remind you that your story is not finished. You do not have to become hard to become strong. You can become strong and remain tender. You can become powerful without becoming cruel. You can protect yourself without closing your heart. You can build boundaries without building walls around your soul. That is a different kind of victory. The world may have taught you to fight fire with fire. But sometimes the greatest victory is refusing to become the very thing that wounded you. You survived their behavior. Now survive the temptation to let their behavior define you. Keep your heart. Keep your kindness. Keep your wisdom. Keep your faith. And keep moving forward, because the person who hurt you may have changed your story, but they do not get to write the ending. There is a prison with no walls. It is called the need for approval, and too many people spend their entire lives trapped inside it. They wake up wondering what people think. They make decisions based on who might be disappointed. They hide their dreams because somebody might laugh. They stay in unhealthy relationships because they are afraid of being alone. They remain small because their growth makes somebody else uncomfortable. But listen carefully. You were not placed on this earth to spend your entire life auditioning for people who refuse to appreciate you. You were not created to beg for permission to become who you were meant to be. Your purpose is bigger than their approval. Your calling is bigger than their criticism. Your future is bigger than their opinion. Some people will never clap for you. Climb anyway. Some people will never understand your journey. Walk anyway. Some people will never believe in your vision. Build anyway. You have to learn how to bless yourself with the courage to continue. There will be days when nobody encourages you. Encourage yourself. There will be days when nobody believes in you. Believe anyway. There will be days when you feel forgotten. Remember who you are. Remember why you started. Remember the dream that kept whispering to you when everything else was telling you to quit. Because purpose does not always feel exciting. Sometimes purpose looks like getting up when you are exhausted. Sometimes purpose looks like doing the work when nobody notices. Sometimes purpose looks like saying no when everybody expects you to say yes. Sometimes purpose looks like leaving people behind. Sometimes purpose looks like starting over with nothing but faith in your heart. And sometimes purpose looks like standing alone until you find people who can walk beside the person you are becoming. Do not confuse loneliness with failure. Sometimes solitude is preparation. Sometimes the season of standing alone is the season when you finally hear your own voice. You begin to discover what you actually want, not what they want, not what society expects. Not what makes other people comfortable, what you want, what God has placed in your heart, what gives your life meaning. That is where your courage begins. Do not shrink yourself so somebody else can feel comfortable. Do not make yourself smaller because your growth makes someone insecure. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to change. You are allowed to dream again. You are allowed to outgrow places that once felt like home. You are allowed to become unfamiliar even to the people who once knew you best, because the person you are becoming may require you to release the person you used to be, and that release can hurt. It can feel like loss. But sometimes losing an old version of yourself is the price of discovering a stronger one. Stop asking, will they approve? Start asking, is this aligned with my purpose? Stop asking, will they understand? Ask, am I willing to keep going even if they don't? Stop asking, what will they say? Ask, what will happen if I never try? You cannot build a meaningful life while constantly looking over your shoulder for permission. At some point, you must choose yourself. Choose your growth. Choose your purpose. Choose your peace, choose your faith, and keep moving, because the moment you stop living for their approval is the moment you finally become free to live for something greater. That is not selfishness, that is transformation. One day, you will understand something that pain could not teach you quickly enough. People can speak against you without being able to stop you. They can doubt you without being able to defeat you. They can reject you without being able to erase your destiny. They can misunderstand you without changing the truth of who you are. So rise. Rise after the disappointment. Rise after the betrayal. Rise after the rejection. Rise after the failure. Rise after the heartbreak. Rise when your confidence is low. Rise when your resources are limited. Rise when nobody is watching. Rise when the applause disappears. Rise when the people you expected to support you decide to walk away. You do not need a perfect life to rise. You need courage. You need discipline. You need faith. You need the willingness to keep moving when the road becomes difficult. There will be moments when you look around and wonder why you have had to fight so hard. You will ask yourself, why did I have to go through this? But do not waste your moments of pain only asking, why me? Ask instead, what is this teaching me? What is this building in me? What am I learning about myself? Who am I becoming because I survived this? Because perhaps the mountain was not placed in your path to destroy you. Perhaps it was there to reveal the strength you did not know you possessed. Perhaps the struggle was not evidence that you were forgotten. Perhaps it was preparing you for something you could not yet see. Perhaps the closed door was not punishment. Perhaps it was protection. Perhaps the rejection was not the end. Perhaps it was redirection. Perhaps the people who walked away created the space you needed to hear your own voice again. Sometimes, life removes what you were holding on to because you were too afraid to let it go. And sometimes what feels like loss is actually the beginning of freedom. So stop measuring your life by who left. Measure it by who you became. Stop measuring your worth by who rejected you. Measure it by how faithfully you continued. Stop measuring your success by how loudly people celebrate you. Measure it by how deeply you respect the person looking back at you in the mirror. Can you look at yourself and say, I did not give up? Can you look at your scars and say, they did not destroy me? Can you look at your past and say, I learned from it? That is victory. And when somebody tries to bring you down again, do not become distracted. Do not become consumed. Do not become bitter. Stand tall. Keep your heart clean. Keep your mind focused. Keep your faith alive. Keep working. Keep becoming. You do not need revenge. Your growth is enough. You do not need to make them regret losing you. Your peace is enough. You do not need them to understand your journey. Your purpose is enough. Because there is a version of you waiting on the other side of this struggle who will look back at this season and say, I am grateful I did not quit. You will realize that every rejection taught you resilience. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every lonely night taught you strength. Every obstacle taught you endurance. And every person who tried to make you feel small gave you another reason to discover how powerful you could become. And when you finally reach that place, you will not need revenge. You will not need an apology. You will not need them to understand. You will simply know that they tried to bury you, and you learned how to rise.